So this is a Galaxy 3714. This is probably the most distinct fan to me in my collection, just because of the memories that it holds for me. When I was a kid, I'd say probably back 94, 95, I grew up in a town called Genoa City, Wisconsin. Small little town. Everything's pretty close-knit there. All the houses were built pretty close together. Our neighbors directly next to us, their house was only maybe 10 feet off the side of ours. The side of the house that I would play on. One summer, I think it was 94, 95, they threw one of these out. I found it in the trash. Now, I've always liked fans since I was a kid. Little kid. My mom and dad used to buy me these for gifts. I didn't get bought toys when I was a kid. No, they bought me fans, but I never had one of these before. Then it was real dirty. A lot of dust was in it. They threw it out. Didn't know why. It was just sitting there beside their house, between the two houses, next to their garbage can, waiting for garbage day to come and pick it up. So me being 9 or 10 years old, figure, hey, cool, I can take that. So I took it. I took it and I ran in the house. Mom, look what I found. It's a treasure. I wonder if it works. Plug it in and lo and behold, it works. It just turned real slow. Now, even back then, at 9, 10 years old, I knew quite a lot about fans. So I disassembled it, cleaned it all off in the shower. Man, Mom was pissed with how dirty I left the shower. Cleaned it all off, cleaned the blades up, took the motor apart. Now this has the plastic Marco motor. Took it all apart. Now back then I didn't know about detergent oils and stuff, but I used 3-in-1 oil and I lubricated it. Put it all back together. Got it all nice and loosened up. It was all nice and clean. I had that fan for a long time, actually. It's a very distinct fan from my childhood, because my dad had one. He had the Sears version with the penthouse on top and the brown blades. But I always had Toastmasters, because gray Toastmasters were what was available at the time. We had a Lakewood that Dad used in the garage, but this became mine. And it was my trash find treasure. In fact, it's what got me confident to look through people's trash and pick things like this out. And this one came from Spatz Bear. This one, I was visiting him in Pittsburgh recently, where him and Harley live. And I was doing some work on their Chrysler New Yorker for them. And this fan was just sitting there. They just picked it up at the thrift recently. I don't even remember what the price said on the top. But I did a valve cover job on the New Yorker for them. And I'm thinking about, what would be a fair price for this? Because it was a bit of work. Took me a little bit of time. And I thought about it, and I just flat out asked, hey, I'll take that Galaxy as payment. And they gave it to me. Oh my God, I was so happy. They even cleaned it up nice for me and oiled the motor up. I didn't really have to do anything to it. The only thing I had to do is I had to change the blade set. This one here that I've made another video about, I used its blade set in this one because the blades were so warped. Now it works perfect. This is probably my favorite box fan. Now, like any fan from that era, it has that. Any of these of this particular era with this design have that plastic Marco motor, which is the most distinct thing I remember about it. I always thought these motors looked so strange compared to the white Macmillan motors that you found in every Lakewood, and even Toastmasters had the Macmillan motor. But this, wow, you could see everything in this motor. You can see the windings and you can see the wiring. You can see everything moving. I always thought these were super cool. And they're just even for the era, these are just simple fans. And I think these were probably regarded as cheap because compared to a Lakewood, this actually isn't a heavy fan. It's very light, but it works really well. This one has the handle, which is purely aesthetic. The handle is, unfortunately, broken, and I don't know how to fix it. I've tried gluing pieces here. I just can't get them to stay, so I leave it there for aesthetics. But it works perfectly, and it is by far my favorite fan. And this one's in good shape. It's only got a broken slat here and broken slat there. I don't know why they did this. Some of them have that weird grill where there's no badge on the back, but that's just a thing of the era, I think. Some do, some don't. And these had such a distinct startup sound too. They just have a startup sound that I always thought was unique. All of them do it. It's something with that plastic Marco motor where they make that moaning sound. But this is by far my favorite fan. And this Lakewood K223 here, this one right here, also came from Spats Bear and Harley, and that was also a gift. I'll be making a video about that. I have two of them. You can see this one and this one. These two. This one's like an 81, I think. This one's an 84 or an 85. Look at the color difference. And they're not faded, but most, let's see, Lakewood, Toastmaster, all this is Lakewood, an Eskimo, and a Lakewood. And then that really beat up one that I made a video about. But no, just thought I would show that off. That this is by far my favorite box fan, and I couldn't be happier that the Spats and Harley gave me this one. This is just, I use this one so much. I use it so much that if something in this one dies, I'm gonna gut that one for this one. But anyway, thanks for watching.